Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another one. Today we're going to do a bit of a book haul. I just got in some books from Barnes and Noble that I had ordered quite a bit ago. And this was, my husband gave me a beautiful and wonderful Valentine's Day gift, which was a gift certificate to Barnes and Noble. So our closest Barnes is about 45 minutes away. So I do a lot of the online purchasing from them. So we're going to go through what I just got, and then I might pull some of my more recent purchases or gifts off of my shelf here to go over as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to set the box here. So I'm super excited. I have about 8 books in this box that I just got. And these were from the buy one, get one 50% off. I think most of them were from the buy one, get one 50% off deal. So, oh my gosh, what are we even going to go through? Okay, this first one, I picked up, this was not buy one, get one 50% off, but I loved this just looks so cozy in fall, and I can't wait to read it in the appropriate season. So this is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Look at how cute that is. This cover just drew me in. So I'm just going to read the synopsis of this because I really don't remember what it's about. When Jeannie's aunt gifts her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs, but Jeannie's arrival disrupts Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm or her pumpkin spice lattes? So, Grumpy Sunshine, I adore pumpkin spice, pumpkin all things actually. And so when I saw the name of this book, I was like, I'm gonna have to give that a try. So I bought this one basically knowing exactly what I read to you. So I'm excited for the opportunity to get into this one in the fall. So the next one that I got, this also, I do not believe this was on the buy one, get one 50% off, but I also picked up Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. So I know nothing about this, so we'll read the back of this together as well. What's the worst thing that can happen to a werewolf? Unable to shift into his wolf form for 3 months, Mateo Cruz knows all too well. His wolf alter ego has taken up residence in his head, taunting him night and day with vividly violent and carnal thoughts. Convinced he's been cursed, he seeks the help of a powerful witch to undo it, but before he literally goes insane. Evie Savoy has always obeyed the house rules of her coven. No werewolves. They're known for being moody and volatile. So when a quick-tempered werewolf strolls into the bar and almost strangles one of her late-night customers, she's ready to bounce him. But her heart softens when she sees the desperation in his eyes as he begs for her help. Maybe she can bend the rules just this once. What Evie doesn't know is that Mateo's wolf has a mind of his own, and now that she's in his sights, he wants only one thing, her. Okay, so wolf shifter. I don't know, but again, this seems like a really fun fall type of read, and I'm excited to put it on my shelves. Okay, so the next one that I got, this one was on the buy one get one 50% off. This is Heartless by Marissa Mayer. And all I know about this one is it's Queen of Hearts retelling, I believe. So we'll read the back. Catherine Catherine may be one of the most desired girls in Wonderland and a favorite of the unmarried king, but her interests lie elsewhere. A talented baker, she wants to open a shop and create delectable pastries, but for her mother, such a goal is unthinkable for a woman who could be a queen. At a royal ball where Kath is expected to receive the king's marriage proposal, she meets handsome and mysterious Jest. For the first time, she feels the pull of true attraction. Spit it out. At the risk of offending the king and infuriating her parents, she and Jest enter into a secret courtship. Kath is determined to choose her own destiny, but in a land thriving with magic, madness, and monsters, fate has other plans. So, I do love a good retelling. Oh, sad. Look, I'm just a little bent right there. So I don't know. It sounds fun. I don't like when pages get bent. The next two, they're part of a series. I don't know if I don't know if it's a duology or if it is, if it's going to be extended. I didn't look too far. These are the only two that were on the buy one, get one 50% off. So I just grabbed them both. And that is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson and Vow of Thieves. So I'll just read them both. A formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations. A son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power. 3 fierce young women of the Rattan, the Queen's premier guard. A legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself. A dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. Cool. I'm not going to read the back of this one just because it might contain some spoilers from this book. So, but I got them both. I loved their covers, by the way. Stunning covers. I am such a sucker for a good cover. Almost any book. I don't know. If it has a stunning cover, I might overlook any flaw. It's probably not the best way to read your books, but so I got these two going on the shelf. The last 3 are part of a series, and these 3 were the only ones on the buy one, get one 50% off sale. And so I just picked up the first 3. And they are this series. Okay. Yes. Okay, so it starts Scythe by Neal Shusterman. And I got Scythe, Thunderhead, and The Toll. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm only going to read the back of Scythe, just so there's no spoilers. Thou shalt kill. A new world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all of those things. It has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. They learn living in a perfect world comes with only a heavy price. Interesting. Scythe is the debut of a thrilling new series by National Book Award-winning author Neal Shusterman. So this is either young adult or teen, but I think it's YA. So my kids are yelling at each other if you can hear them. So I'm excited to get at least the first 3 of these on to my shelves. Realistically, I don't know when I'm going to get to read any of these books. I have 200 books behind me, but I'm going to keep chipping away at all of these. So yeah, these 3 are going on my shelf. Okay, so now we're going to go over some of my more recent acquisitions and where I got them, things like that. So when I say recent, I mean like Christmas to now. So these ones that we just went over, I just purchased. And so some of these, I have a giant stack of books. Some of these I got in grab bags from Once Upon a Book Club. Some of them came in my Once Upon a Book Club box. Some of them were not grab bags, were purchases from like Owl Crate or LitJoy, when at the end of the year they had a bunch of their boxes for on sale. So we are going to get started on these ones. The first ones we are going to start with are the Crescent City books. So these are book 1 and book 2. So House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath. And then I also have House of Flame and Shadow over here that I'm going to show you in a second. But these ones were the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And yeah, these ones are paperback. And then the House of Flame and Shadow, I got, it's a hardback. And I think this might also have been a Barnes & Noble purchase. Honestly, I can't remember. So I'm going to be really honest. I'm wickedly intimidated by these books. Not only are they gigantic, like each one of these is the size of what feels like a Bible. There's so many pages here. But I've tried reading House of Earth and Blood. Like there's obviously a little bookmark in there, and I'm so scared I'm not gonna like it. I know I need to give it more than the pages that I've read, but I'm terrified I'm not gonna like it. I did like I didn't like every ACOTAR book, but I did like A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and A Court of Silver Flames. Silver Flames was just different because it was a different set of characters as the main characters, but I did like them. I'm just really worried. I don't know. It's probably a dumb thing to be worried about, but if you found discrepancies between them, or if you liked one over the other, can you let me know down below so I have some frame of reference going into this gigantic commitment of a book series, please? But anyway, these were recent acquisitions, also from Barnes & Noble. So there's these. We're going to try to blaze through the rest of these because my stack has gotten bigger and my time has gotten smaller. So, okay. In a buy one, get one grab bag from Once Upon a Book Club, I got these 4 books. The Many Daughters of A Feng Moi, The Last True Poets of the Sea, Most Likely, and The Sullivan Sisters. So we're quickly going to read the synopsis of these because I've not even read them. So you get to do it with me. So The Sullivan Sisters, time changes things. The painful fact of life couldn't be truer for the Sullivan sisters. Once they were close, sharing secrets inside homemade blanket castles. Now life in the Sullivan house means closed doors and secrets left untold. 14-year-old Murphy, an aspiring magician, is shocked by the death of Siegfried, her pet turtle. 17-year-old Claire is bound for better things than her Oregon hometown, until she receives a crushing rejection from her dream college. And 18-year-old Eileen is nursing a growing addiction in the wake of life-altering news. Then, days before Christmas, a letter arrives informing the sisters of a dead uncle and an inheritance they knew nothing about. The news forces them to band together in the face of a sinister family mystery and possibly murder. The Sullivan Sisters is an unforgettable novel about ghosts of the past, the power of connection, and the bonds of sisterhood. It says beautiful, like in pages. So yeah, there's that one. Then we have Most Likely. 4 best friends, 1 future president. Who will it be? Ava, CJ, Jordan, and Martha. Listen in alphabetical order out of fairness, of course. Had been best friends since kindergarten. Now they're high school seniors facing their biggest fears about growing up and growing apart. More than just college is on the horizon, though. One of these girls is destined to become the president of the United States, but which one? And then it tells a little bit about each girl, but this looks pretty good. The Last True Poets of the Sea. I love this cover. It's so beautiful. The Larkin family isn't just lucky, they persevere. At least that's what Violet and her younger brother Sam were always told. When the Lyric sank off the coast of Maine, their great-great-great-grandmother didn't drown like the rest of the passengers. No, Fidelia swam to shore, fell in love, and founded Lyric, Maine, the town Violet and Sam return to every summer. But Rex seemed to run in the family. Tall, funny, musical Violet can't stop partying with the wrong people. And one beautiful summer day, brilliant, sensitive Sam attempts to take his own life. Shipped back to Lyric while Sam is in treatment, Violet is hunted by her family's missing piece, the lost shipwreck she and Sam dreamed of discovering when they were children. Desperate to make amends, Violet embarks on a wildly ambitious mission, locate the Lyric, which has lain hidden in a watery grave for over a century. This looks good. And also, seriously, that is a beautiful cover. And then the last of that grab bag is the Many Daughters of A Fong Moi. I can read. Also, again, look how beautiful this is. Books are really, places are really stepping up the book game. These are more like art pieces. Look at these sprayed edges. They're like little it's like writing and stuff. Okay. Dorothy Moy breaks her own heart for a living. As Washington's former poet laureate, that's how she describes channeling her disassociative episodes and mental health struggles into her art. But when her 5-year-old daughter exhibits similar behavior and begins remembering things from the lives of their ancestors, Dorothy believes the past has truly come to haunt her. Fearing that her child is predestined to endure the same debilitating depression that has marked her own life, Dorothy seeks radical help. Through an experimental treatment designed to mitigate inherited trauma, Dorothy intimately connects with the past generations of women in her family. Faye Moy, a nurse in China serving with the Flying Tigers. Zoe Moy, a student in England at a famous school with no rules. Lai King Moy, a girl quarantined in San Francisco during a plague epidemic. Greta Moy, a tech executive with unique dating app. And Afong Moy, the first Chinese woman to set foot in America. Don't change the world. Sorry about the lighting. I'm just going to say sorry about it. Move on. Okay. In my Once Upon a Book Club box, I got Kristen Hanna's The Women. Oh. And a bunch of stickers. Cute. Women Can Be Heroes. For 20-year-old nursing student Frankie McGrath. When 20-year-old nursing student Frankie McGrath hears these words, it is a revelation. Raised in the sun-drenched, idyllic world of Southern California and sheltered by her conservative parents, she has always prided herself on doing the right thing. But in 1965, the world is changing, and she suddenly dares to imagine a different future for herself. When her brother ships out to Vietnam, she joins the Army Nurse Corps and follows his path. As great and inexperienced as the men sent to Vietnam to fight, Frankie is overwhelmed by the chaos and destruction of war. Each day is a gamble of life and death, hope and betrayal. Friendships run deep and can be shattered in an instant. In war, she meets and becomes one of the lucky, the brave, the broken, and the lost. But war is just the beginning for Frankie and her veteran friends. The real battle lies in coming home to a changed and divided America, to angry protesters, and a country that wants to forget Vietnam. Okay, let me just say this. I just finished The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna, and I literally cried almost through the entire thing. I'm really going to have to bolster myself to get into this one. In my LitJoy box, I got Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I've not read a single Tessa Bailey book. She's very popular right now, so I have no idea, but this is a special edition. It has the sprayed edges and the end papers, and it's actually really cute. I'm assuming this is something from the book, but it says Wells Bell. I'm assuming it's something he says. Wells Whitaker was once golf's hottest rising star, but lately all he has to show for his promising career is a killer hangover, a collection of broken clubs, and one remaining supporter. No matter how bad he plays, the beautiful sunny redhead is always on the sidelines. He curses, she cheers. He scowls, she smiles. But when Wells quits in a blaze of glory and his fangirl finally goes home, he knows he's made the greatest mistake of his life. Josephine Doyle believed in the gorgeous, grumpy golfer, even when he didn't believe in himself. Yet after he throws in the towel, she begins to wonder if her faith was misplaced. Then a determined Wells shows up at her door with a wild proposal. Be his new caddy, help him turn his game around, and split the prize money. And considering Josephine's professional and personal life is in shambles, she could really use the cash. I'm not going to read the last of it, but it looks really cute. Okay. In one of my Barnes & Noble book hauls, I got Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I just finished in February all of the STEM books. So Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and Love Theoretically. And I really liked Ali Hazelwood's writing. This one I have seen some interesting reviews about, so I'm a little afraid to pick it up. But if you don't know, it's like a witch and a werewolf kind of book. Romance, I guess. So I'm not going to read the back of it because I think at this point most people have heard of that, but there we go. Okay, Amazon deals of the day got me a couple of weeks back, and I ended up with Rhapsodic. I have no idea what this is about. Laura Thalassa. I think I've seen some of this on the talks. I don't know. So for the past 7 years, Callie has been wearing a bracelet of black beads up her wrist, magical IOUs for favors she once received. Only death or repayment will fulfill her obligations. Everyone knows that if you need a favor, you go to the bargainer to make it happen. He's a man who can get you anything you want at a price. And everyone knows that sooner or later, he'll always collect. But for Callie, he's never asked for repayment, not until now. When Callie finds the bargainer in her room, a grin on his lips and a twinkle in his eye, she knows things are about to change. At first, it's admitting a truth, a single bead's worth, acknowledging the attraction between them. But the bargainer is more than just rekindling their connection. Something is happening in the other world. Fae warriors are going missing one by one, and only the women are returned, each in a glass casket, a child clutched to her breast. For the bargainer to save his people, he'll need the help of the siren he spurned long ago, if she can forgive him. That sounds interesting. Okay, the next one in that haul, the Amazon deals of the day, was Pestilence. So the Four Horsemen one. This is also by same author. When Pestilence, the first of the horsemen, comes for Sarah Burns' town, one thing is certain. Everyone she knows and loves is marked for death. Unless, of course, the angelic-looking horseman is stopped, which is exactly what Sarah has in mind when she shoots the unholy beast off his steed. Too bad no one told her Pestilence can't be killed. Alive and furious, the horseman takes Sarah prisoner, determined to make her suffer for impeding his mission. Despite her pleas, nothing and no one gets in the way of his orders to destroy humankind. Only the longer Pestilence spends beside Sarah's bravery and compassion, the more he seems to understand her and humanity. And the longer Sarah travels with Pestilence and his plague, the more uncertain she grows about his true feelings toward her and hers toward him. Interesting. And also King of Wrath by Anna Huang. Again, I've heard I don't know, but it was on a deal of the day. It was like $8.99, so I picked it up. She was my North Star, the brightest jewel in my sky. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant, billionaire CEO Dante Russo thrives on control, both personally and professionally. He never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Lau, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. The wife he never wanted and the weakness he never saw coming. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is, Dante will do everything in his power to destroy the blackmail and their betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Elegant, ambitious, and well-mannered. Vivian Lau is the perfect daughter and her family's ticket into the highest echelons of society. Marrying a blue-blooded Russo means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed for her new money parents. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea, excuse me, of a dream partner, she agrees to the arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never the part of the plan. Neither was the worst possible outcome, falling in love with her future husband. I love arranged marriages. Pause. I love arranged marriages and I love marriage of convenience. All of those. Sorry. Oh man. I don't feel sick, but I've just got this thing going on. This throat thing. This sounds worse than it is. Okay, we're almost there. I'm trying to beat the clock because my kid's getting off the bus soon. Let's start here. So these next couple books, actually no, we'll do this because this was also Amazon deal of the day. Which one is first? Oh, okay. There Are No Saints and There Is No Devil. So these were also, actually this one was on Amazon deal of the day, but I couldn't not get the second to the duology because Lord knows I need more books. I'll just read the first one so as not to give anything away. She knows he's no saint, but she has no idea she's dancing with the devil. Cole Blackwell values control. He's the hottest sculptor in San Francisco, wealthy, successful, and respected. His only weakness is the dark impulse he carefully conceals. In truth, he's not just an artist, he's a predator, and the city is his hunting ground. Mara Eldridge is a nobody. Broke and damaged, she works 3 jobs while creating paintings no one will ever see. When a chance encounter throws Mara into Cole's path, her escape from certain death fascinates Cole. More than that, it fixates him. He begins stalking her, discovering there's more to the struggling misfit than he would have guessed. She makes him feel things he never thought he could feel. Want things he'd never want. Want things he thought he'd never want. He doesn't know if he should protect her at all costs or destroy her before she ruins him. He's losing control, breaking the rules that have kept his true nature hidden from the world. Mara knows he's dangerous, but Cole is the only person who's ever recognized her talent, and it leads her heart astray, straight into the dark. Cole can reach her to get, I swear, Cole can teach her to get what she wants. But what might this vicious killer want in return? I swear, sometimes I'm really good at reading and sometimes I'm stinky cheese. Yeah. So the Center Duet, that's these Amazon deal of the day. I tell you. Okay. So this one came in an Owl Crate subscription box and it is The Drowned Woods. So this is just their cover. If I remember, I'll put the original up there. Yeah, beautiful end pages. It's the same on the front and the back. Okay. The right cause can topple a kingdom. Once upon a time, the kingdoms of Wales were rife with magic and conflict. An 18-year-old Mererid is well acquainted with both. As the last living water diviner, she can manipulate water with magic, and it's a skill many would kill to possess. For years, Mare has been running from the prince who bound her into his service and forced her to kill hundreds with her magic. Now all Mare desires is a safe, quiet life, far from power and politics. But that peace is disrupted when Mer's old handler returns with a proposition. You guys, seriously, I can read, I promise. Use her abilities to bring down the very prince who abused them both. With a motley crew of allies, including a fey-cursed young man, the Lady of Thieves, and a corgi that may or may not be a spy, Mer must decide whether to run for the rest of her life or stand and fight for the true freedom she's long desired. Part heist novel, part dark fairy tale, this immersive and ethereal fantasy from acclaimed author Emily Lloyd Jones will enchant readers until the very last page. Again, I'm a sucker for a pretty cover. This one got me, and I love trees. So this sounds really good. This one also came in an Owl Crate box, and it's The Whispering Dark. And I will put the original cover over here because this is their special edition as well. This is by Kelly Andrew. So Delaney always talked to the dark. She never expected it to talk back. Delaney is tired of being seen as fragile just because she's deaf. So when she's accepted into a prestigious program that trains students to slip between parallel worlds, she's excited for the chance to prove herself. But her semester gets off to a rocky start as she faces professors who won't accommodate her disability and a pretentious upperclassman fascinated by Delaney's unusual talents. Colton died when he was 9 years old. He woke several weeks later at the feet of a green-eyed little girl. Now, 12 years later, Delaney has stumbled back into his orbit, but Colton's been ordered to keep away from the new girl and the voices she hears calling to her from the shadows. Delaney wants to keep her distance from Colton. She seems to be the only person on campus who finds him more arrogant than charming. Yet after a student turns up dead, she and Colton are forced to form a tenuous alliance. But Delaney and Colton discover the cost of opening the doors between the worlds when they find themselves up against something old and nameless, an enemy they need to destroy before it tears them apart and their forbidden partnership, before it tears them and their forbidden partnership apart. He was a paper moth in the dark, and she was a light. This is a beautiful cover, too. I love this. What is this one? Oh, this one. Oh, so this one was also a Barnes & Noble find. I got this one and... no, just this one. So this is Grey Mist Fair, and it says No One Ever Leaves Grey Mist Fair by Francesca Zappia. I don't know. It looks pretty fun. Two roads lead into a dark forest. They meet at Grey Mist Fair, the village hidden in the trees, a place kept alive by the families who never leave. The villagers of Grey Mist Fair know that the woods are a dangerous and magical place, and they avoid stepping off the path at all costs. One cold day, Grey Mist Fair's young tailor, Heike, Heike, sets out on the road in search for red berries she needs to dye her fabrics. But what she finds will lead her to the heart of the forest and the darkness that dwells there. Heike's mother, when she was alive, had warned Heike to stay off the road, for there are creatures in the woods that will steal you away and eat you up. There are creatures in the woods that will steal you away and eat you up. But deep in the woods, you might find the answers too. Again, I'm a sucker for trees. I'm a sucker for forests. So, Grey Mist Fair. This one I also got in a Barnes & Noble box. These next three came in a Barnes & Noble order, I should say. Not these next three. This one and the two after that came in a Barnes & Noble. Okay, this is the Forest Grimm. This is not the cover that I wanted. The cover that I wanted, I stinking love it, but that's not this one. This one I will live with. So, Tell Me Again, Grandmere, the story of how I die. The Midnight Forest, the Fanged Creature, two cards that spell an untimely death for 17-year-old Clara. Despite the warning from her fortune teller grandmother, Clara and her close friend Axel, who is fated never to be in love with her, embark on a dangerous journey into the deadly Forest Grimm. Even though every time someone crosses the forest border, they don't return. Clara and Axel have no choice. Entering the forest is the only way they can find the magical Sorts Fortuna, the Book of Fortunes with the power to reverse the curse on their village and save Clara's mother. But the forest is alive and dark. Deadly twists on some of our most well-known fairy tales, and it has a mind of its own. Oh, let me read that again. But the forest is alive with dark, deadly twists on some of our most well-known fairy tales, and it has a mind of its own. I love the idea of this. Love it. This one is After the Forest by Kel Woods. Gonna cough again. I do love this cover. 20 years ago, after The Witch in the Gingerbread House, Greta and Hans are struggling to get by. Their mother and stepmother are long dead. Hans is deeply in debt from gambling, and the countryside lies in ruins, its people starving in the aftermath of a brutal war. Greta has a secret, though, the witch's grimoire, hidden away and whispering in Greta's ear for the past 2 decades, and the recipe inside that makes the best gingerbread you've ever tasted. As long as she can bake, Greta can keep her small family afloat. But in a village full of superstition, Greta and her mysteriously addictive gingerbread, not to mention the rumors about her childhood misadventures, are a source of gossip and suspicion. Now, dark magic is returning to the woods, and Greta's magic she's still trying to understand, may be the only thing that can save her if it doesn't kill her first. Wow. After the Forest is a dark and enchanting fantasy debut from Kel Woods that explores the repercussions of a childhood filled with magic and a young woman contending with the truth of happily ever after. Sounds good. This one, Study in Drowning, I got from Amazon, I believe. So, Effie Sayre has always believed in fairy tales. She's had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. She's found solace only in the pages of Angharad. Jeez. Emrys Meridian's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Effie's tattered copy is all that keeps her afloat through her first term at the prestigious Lyrian Architecture College. So when Meridian's family announces a contest to redesign the late author's estate, Effie feels certain this is her destiny. But Hiraeth Manor is an impossible task, a musty, decrepit house on the brink of crumbling into a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, someone else has already made a temporary home there. Preston Hillary, a stodgy young literature scholar, is determined to prove Effie's favorite author is a fraud. As the two rival students investigate the reclusive author's legacy, piecing together clues through his letters, books, and diaries, they discover that the house's foundation isn't the only thing that can't be trusted. There are dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspiring against them, and the truth may bring them both to ruin. How beautiful is that? So pretty fun. And it's really like... not soft is not the right word. It's like glossy, really glossy. Okay, so I think I have just like 3 more. I could be wrong. Oh no, there's 4. These next couple, let's see. Oh no, okay, so before I do the last 3, I'll do this one. This is one that I got off of, it's a first run publication. So Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Barwa. I got this one off of Amazon. It was like $9 for this copy, which I thought was crazy. You swim with monsters. These people cannot scare you. 16-year-old Coral and her brother Emmerich risk their lives to capture the monstrous Maristags that live in the Black Seas around their island. They have to, or else their family will starve. In an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts, the ruling elite have indentured her family to provide the Maristags for the Glory Race, a deadly chariot tournament reserved for the upper class. The winner receives gold and glory. The losers, if they're lucky, survive. When Coral fails to capture a Maristag for this year's race. Her family can't afford medicine for her chronically ill little sister. Coral's only choice is to do what no one else has ever dared, cheat her way into the glory race. But Coral must race against contenders who have trained their whole lives and have no intention of letting a low-caste girl steal their glory. And when riots break out, Coral has to do more than win the race. She'll have to stop the whole island from burning. Monsters Born and Made is an epic South Asian-inspired fantasy debut that will leave you breathless until the very last page. That looks good. Okay, the last three we have from Book of the Month. We have by Rebecca Ross, A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless. I'm just going to read the synopsis for A River Enchanted because I believe it's the first one. It starts with a letter and an ominous journey across the dark waters. 10 years after being sent away to the mainland to become a bard, Jack Tamerlane is summoned home to Cadence, but his return is not yet a joyous one. Girls are going missing from the island, and Adara, future leader of the clan, believes Jack is the only one who can find them. Enchantments run deep on Cadence. Gossip is carried by the wind. Plaid shawls can be as strong as armor, and the smallest cut of a knife can instill fathomless fear. The elemental spirits that dwell in every breath of air, splash of water, blade of grass, and flicker of fire find mirth in the lives of humans. Kidnapping the Tamerlane girls is a step too far, though, and is only through a bard's music that the intangible spirits can be summoned to explain where the girls are. Once childhood enemies, now unwilling partners, Jack and Adara must put aside their past rivalry to entice the spirits to return the girls. Yet as they prepare the songs, another enemy threatens the horizon. And then A Fire Endless is the second to that, I believe. Yes. And I already read that it kind of gives a couple things away, so I'm not going to read this one. Last but not least, from Book of the Month is Heartless Hunter. I saw this being given away as a Goodreads giveaway a while back, and I knew I wanted to get my hands on it. So when I saw that Book of the Month made it one of their picks, I was super excited. This is Enemies to Lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love, and best-selling author Kristen Ciccarelli's latest romantic fantasy. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. He's a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution, and too late, Rune realizes she might be falling for him. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Rune represents, but when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circles by pretending to court her. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shallow facade is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like his perfect match. Except what if she's the very villain he's been hunting? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Holy cow, that was a lot of books. That was 30 books I just went through. And to be honest, that's not even all of them that I got between December and now. That's just the ones I wanted to focus on. I have a bunch of series down here that I still need to get to. But we'll just call that part one. We'll just do like book haul part one. I still need to do my wrap-ups from January and February. There's a lot of things I need to do. But let me know below what books you've read, what ones you liked, what ones you maybe like thumbs up, thumbs down, didn't like. Yeah, like here, this would be awesome. If you've read any of the books that I've just gone through, will you write the title and then thumbs up next to it or thumbs down next to it, so I can kind of get a feel what the general consensus is with some of these books. There's a lot of YA fantasy in here. There's just a couple of romance, a couple of dark romance. I don't know how that's going to go. Some literary fiction, some sci-fi. There's a lot in here. So let me know what you think. And without further ado, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.